you've been on YouTube recently, you've probably noticed the trend of people talking about their financial hardships, and they're talking about how they're just in the craziest predicaments. Some people can't afford to put food on their tables. Some people are living in their cars. You have people working more than one job, small business owners that are struggling to stay afloat, college students fresh out of college. Got student loan debt, credit card debt. It's getting tough out there for a lot of people according to what's going on the internet. And it's kind of hard to miss these videos unless you're not really on YouTube as often as a lot of other people are. These videos are abundant, and they're only becoming more and more frequent as the economy gets worse. Some may argue a lot of these people are in the situations that they're currently in due to poor financial literacy, and that may also be the case. A sudden increase in your wealth, whether it be winning the lottery or a raise at your job even, if you're not literate enough to keep that money, you're not, and it's not gonna help. There's this thing called lifestyle inflation, and that usually happens when people get a raise at their job and they get a little bit of extra cash, so they think that they can afford to do certain things, whether it be take that vacation they wanted, buy that new car they wanted, maybe go out to that restaurant they always wanted to try, and then it turns into an every other week or every month sort of habit. We've all heard the story once where there was a person that's won an absurd amount of money on the lottery only to go dead broke and possibly even homeless just a couple years later. More money does not equal more money being kept if you do not have the education and the knowledge to keep it. It is almost impossible. Now, these situations that these people are in, it's almost as if the average American cannot survive in today's economy. They're going through it. There's no need for extra emphasis. People are just going through it right now. And let's take a couple look at some comments from the video that was posted on this channel where we discussed whether or not $30 an hour was the new poor or working class. I'm sure almost every working American knew this already, but $20 an hour, and honestly anywhere from $20 to $30 an hour is the new minimum wages. That's like the new broke. Realistically, if you're making anything under $20 an hour and you're over the age of 20, 21, how the fuck are you even buying food, dude? Like just off that alone, there's so many people that would agree that the average American just cannot survive in this economy. So Antonio Holmes 6388 says budgeting and multiple incomes. Even the rich need more than one income. Well, the rich usually have more than one income unless they're just living on a fixed sort of income off the wealth that they have. 9 times out of 10 though, they definitely have more than one income. You need more than one income. You should never rely on just one income source. If you can get 2, that's even better. 2 is better than 1. Macberry 4048 says we need some government regulations that help the working man. Gordon Allen 9095 says the goalpost has definitely been moved. The goalpost has been moved. Inflation was that thing that moved the goalpost. So that $20 an hour then isn't the same $20 an hour now. The value of the dollar has gone down because of the constant printing of money that the Federal Reserve is doing. So as you're going to work slaving for how much you get paid an hour, the people that run the office, that run the government, is just sitting there printing out more and more money by the minute, practically making your hard work useless. Think about that for a second. International boxing, sorry for the mispronunciation. I've averaged around $35 an hour for many years, and I agree. This is poverty in 2024. That is ridiculous. Vindon Alexander 3653 says, bro, if you have no kids and can't survive off 30 an hour, I don't know what to tell you. Either cut back on frivolous spending or increase your income, but obviously something is wrong. Cutting back on frivolous spending and increasing your income is very important. These are things that you want to do. Just because you have a bunch of money doesn't mean you can spend a bunch of money. That's one thing that people need to get through their heads. You can't immediately assume that your increase in dollars, it means you can increase your lifestyle. That's where that lifestyle inflation comes from. Jujubees225 says, yup, everyone is struggling. Groceries, car insurance, home insurance, property taxes, etc. went considerably up this year. Groceries have definitely went up. Everybody's noticed it. The only time you wouldn't notice the expense of groceries is if you had food stamps, because then you're not spending your hard-earned cash to actually buy the food. So yeah, you would notice it a little bit because you can't get as much free food as you used to. When you're using hard-earned cash that you worked for, when you got to break the wallet out and actually take out your debit card or your cash to pay for the groceries, and you're seeing $600 go, and you need the food, so you don't want to not buy it. But when you see that and you're like, damn, that's my whole check. O. James 1983 says, everybody isn't struggling. In general, that's more than likely a yes than a no. Of course, there are walks of life that have their issues. However, some people, probably more than likely the minority, are in an established and content place of being financially, spiritually, if that's your forte, emotionally, and physically. I'm one of them and find these types of videos from time to time interesting and entertaining perspectives of the masses. Keep your head up and keep elevating. Jules of the Universe 2130 says, government systems in all countries will always find ways to make the low class more poor and narcissistic rich demons more richer. Jonathan Erderek, I'm so sorry, I know I definitely butchered that. 7467 says, I'm 41. I worked in corporate America for 15 years making $150,000 a year. We got bought up by a private equity firm, got laid off, and now I live in my car in Texas making $17 an hour. So yeah, I'm screwed. Nobody wants to hire a 41-year-old in that market. I can only imagine that's definitely difficult. It's almost as if this is a secret problem that not a lot of people have yet to discuss, is that there are a lot of older people that are almost being phased out of the job market, out of a lot of job markets. This is a problem that not everyone is discussing yet. This is definitely a topic of debate that needs to be brought up a little bit more, because this is a minority group that isn't being heard yet either. What do you think?